It's a mess in this attic, lot going on, but there ain't no need to panic. Come on up and join, we getting wild, getting manic. Spitting truth for all you fanatics. Every week got something new to say. Ain't no filter, this shit coming straight from the brain. It's coming straight from the brain. Yeah, it's coming straight from the brain.
What's up, everybody? Today is Tuesday, November 9th, 2021. This is A Talk in the Attic, which of course means I'm your host, Kirk Ross. And if you can't already tell, I'm giddy with excitement right now. Today's installment, the 153rd episode to date, is perhaps the most special yet. As you likely noticed in the background already, today's episode will feature music by Marc Rebier, a primary source of inspiration for me and for the show.
Yeah, baby, guess I'm gonna take a little bit of drink.
In fact, all the music you hear today is from Marc himself, aka the Loop Daddy, who was kind enough to give me permission to use his songs for this production. I'm beyond grateful for the courtesy he extended my way, so thank you, Marc, for everything, and thanks to your agent, Adam, for your help with this as well. So what is today's episode all about, and why was it so important for the sweet, soulful tunes of Loop Daddy to serve as the soundtrack? Well, let me take you back to early 2020 when COVID-19 dropped in and proclaimed,
"Yo, humans, I'm here and I'm about to fuck everything up."
First it shut everything down, then it tried to steal all of our toilet paper, and before long, with each passing day, it wore us all down a little bit more, stripped us down a little bit more, didn't it? And as we dealt with the most disruptive global event in recent history, the political landscape was making its final transition from pretty shitty into actual hellscape. We all found ourselves in an incessant cycle of toxicity and anger and disagreement and incivility. Economically, culturally, and psychologically, 2020 felt a lot like a war, right? It felt like a fucking war. And a key battlefield in this particular war? Facebook. Now, I won't rehash just how brutal a place Facebook had become. We've all heard about it and lived enough of it already. And to think that I had previously considered the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge the worst era in social media history. Boy, was I wrong. Long story short, 2020 presented some very unique and disturbing challenges, and Facebook was there to help accelerate our cultural disintegration, wasn't it? And if not for a couple shining beacons of hope and positivity, I'm certain that by now I'd have been off of Facebook or Meta or whatever the fuck it's called. Today's episode is about those shining beacons. First, Marc Rebier. His reliable, positive, and hilarious Sunday streams became like church for us, and to a couple million other people as well. And through Marc's positive online following of inclusive and love-first fans, I then stumbled upon Marc Groft, a graphic designer who was regularly posting, and still is regularly posting, Loop Daddy memes and edits. And between these two Marcs, one with a C, the French way, baby, the other with a K, I was provided with such a jolt of creative inspiration that I became highly dedicated to learning both music and Photoshop. Look, we often emulate those who inspire us most, and I did exactly that. I bought an M-Audio MIDI controller just like Marc, and I got to work, practicing keys for at least a couple hours a day and obsessing about practicing keys when I wasn't doing it. I owe so much of how far I've come to Loop Daddy himself, and whenever I was feeling a little bit stuck musically, which happens, I would turn my creative energy over to photo editing and photoshopping, following in the footsteps of Marc Groft, aka Edit Poppy. And I wasn't alone. People all around the world were finding solace in Marc Rebier, and a smaller but equally passionate crew was developing around Marc Groft. Suddenly, what had started as funny photo edits to Loop Daddy's fan pages became a bona fide following for Marc Groft. But this episode isn't exactly about Marc or Marc. What it's really about is all the love and beauty on display in the Facebook social media landscape of both of these Marcs. The toxicity and divisiveness, which had become hallmarks for my daily interactions, probably your daily interactions as well, were nowhere to be found in the private and well-moderated groups surrounding Marc and Marc. The themes were and continue to be inclusiveness, body positivity, lifting each other up, sharing love with each other, and finding a way to be positive in an otherwise negative arena. Graphposting, the official online community around Marc Groft, now 632 strong, I should mention, became such a safe haven for its members that they began to coordinate meetups all over the country. And a few weeks ago, in October of 2021, the largest Groft fam meetup occurred, this time in Asheville, North Carolina, intentionally timed such that they could all go to see Mark Rebier live and in person with one another. Thanks to some serious planning by Hazel Madison, 25, count them, 25 members of Graphposting, relative strangers outside of their Facebook interactions, came together for a long weekend of friendship and debauchery in a huge rental house on the outskirts of Asheville. You heard that right. 25 people who had never met in person rented a house and lived together for a few days. The trip, as you might expect, was given the name Asheville. Of course it was. Now, on face value, there were but a couple options that might have happened with this arrangement. Either A, a mass murder, or B, a mass orgy. To my knowledge, neither such thing occurred. Look, I know that nobody killed anybody, and probably some people fucked, but I don't know. That would be purely speculation on my part. But what I do know that happened on this trip is friendship and love, family dinners, some drinks, some dabs, some ass shaking at the Loop Daddy concert, and of course, lots of memories. But beyond all that, this group of 25, brought together first by Mark Rebier and then by Mark Groft, provided a glimpse of what can happen when we all lead with love, when we lead with positivity. Assville taught us a lesson that we probably all already knew, but that we sometimes need a little reminding about. If you don't like the environment that you're in, then change your environment. If you're feeling like you're drowning in toxicity, then surround yourselves with the opposite. And if you're sick of being or seeing other people bullied, then create a space for yourself where no such behavior is tolerated. And perhaps more than anything, be yourself and have fun. Put on some goddamn Mark Rebier, shake your ass, and keep pooping on it, people. And now, without further ado, I present to you Greetings from Assville, a real-world-esque documentary about the largest Groft fam meetup to date, and then in the final segment of today's show, an interview with Mark Groft himself. Thank you all so much for checking out this little one-man show. I'm beyond grateful that you're doing it. Thank you, Loop fam. Thank you, Groft fam. Thank you to the Marks. Much love, y'all. Let's start the show.
When you're on the internet, you can be whatever you want. When you're on the internet, you can be whatever you want. When you're on the internet, you can be whatever you want. Hey, 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 baby, how? Be whatever you want. Oh, on the internet, on the internet, on the internet, on the internet.
Hi, I'm Ruben G.
I'm Hannah, aka Hazel.
I'm Luciana.
Sunny.
Katie Espana. My name is Katie Espana, yeah.
Girl, my name is Mark Mills. I'm from the South, where we do things a little different down here, but we got a lot of love for everybody from everywhere. Mwah! I'm just kidding. My name is Mark Mills from Savannah, Georgia. I'm Hannah.
Hey, Hannah.
I'm Abby.
Clint.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Katie, but I'm mostly known as Biscuits these days. Biscuit. Yeah.
Hey, Biscuit.
Hi.
My name is Amber Nelson.
My name is Danica Chabola.
The reason why I love Loop Daddy is the man that he is, the message that he sends at the end of every show, at a lot of the ends of the live streams. It's be good to each other, take care of each other, and if you make a big enough wave, it comes back to greet you, and I'm about that.
He's got this disarming silliness, and the beat is always so hot, so much fun.
His energy and message is all about love and kindness and just treating people with respect and spreading that joy and love and respect all around.
He's super talented, but also just really real at the same time, and perfectly captures just like love, like everything, like that's what it's about, and anything else on top of that is a bonus.
When I first saw Loop Daddy, and on the internet, of course, his energy is what attracted me, but what kept me there was that he didn't care what anybody thought of him. He just be yourself and love who you are. and love everyone around you. And that's like, you know, who I am. And I found all those people following him too.
This is probably for everybody, but Mark came to us in a time where people had doubts and worries about life around them, and they got stuck in a microcosm, in a bubble, and we all got bubbled into our homes. And Mark was a very shining light for that. I had an accident a very long time ago that cut through my arm. Because of it, my tendons are tied together. And like for me to play music, it only lasts so long. And then my arm will just do the claw. He inspired me to like pick all my instruments back up, you know what I mean? Like try looping things, just getting out of my comfort zone and showing like the love that he exudes comes out of him through people that are affected by him.
He is responsible for saving my 2020 from being a complete shit show.
Well, I found Mark when I was kind of in a down place, and his music definitely helped to get me out of dark times. And for that, I'll always be grateful. It just takes a microphone and good vibes, and you could just, and Mark shows that all the time, that you could create positivity out of thin air, and I absolutely love that.
You know, Mark, you're a talented, beautiful individual.
Yeah.
And you brought all 25 of us together and brought us up.
I love the way that he unifies people, and I love the way that he is genuine and from the heart and goofy as all hell. He's totally himself, and I think that's what he encourages us to do, but leading with kindness. And that's a really freaking cool message. I love that. The fucking humor.
The humor.
The humor. Laughter is medicine, and it's just, yeah. So the humor is a big draw, but then also the emotional side of things. Return of the Stream was my first stream to catch live, and that one it couldn't have come at a more intense time in my life to when I needed it the most, and just feeling that connection means the world to me.
I was just introduced to him last year to begin with, and immediately fell in love with his heart and his soul and his humor, and then his music. Yeah, he's just really brought out the best in me and attracted me to a great group of friends.
My French professor had posted a clip of Groft.
Let me in, I'm trying to fuck.
Let me in, I'm trying to fuck. Let me in, I'm trying to fuck now. I said, let me
I listened to it, I snickered and giggled because I'm like, what is this cutie patootie saying and what? And honestly thought it was just a hoax, a joke, until another friend said, hey, no, that's a real guy, that's his music, that's what he does, it's improvised music. And I was like, that shit's hilarious, I loved it. I was noticing I was falling in love with him. Man crush of the year 2020 and forevermore. Some musicians you kind of I don't know, they're doing their thing, but it seems like he would be a little bit more personable. And what showed me that in him was the video he posted when his father had passed, and being that I lost my grandmother, I connected with that song. And it was just I felt the pain, but then I felt a shared unison with that, and it was loving.
I love you.
I love Mark Groft because he's created this really great space of fun and interesting, weird people who all love Loop Daddy for the same reason, because of that same beautiful message of love and kindness. And we get to just kind of laugh over the silliest of things and have this great space where we can be ourselves. And I'm really grateful to Mark for allowing us that opportunity to get weird on the internet.
Oh gosh, he cracks me up. His art, his edits are just amazing.
And it turns out Mark Groft is quite a bit similar. Disarming silliness, creativity, inspirational, and Graphposting is just a pretty killer place. And I feel like all the vibes that those two guys created are like manifested in the people. It doesn't seem real at times. It's a magical experience.
Mark Groft is a fucking amazing human, hilarious, and I think it takes a special kind of person to have a group that just kind of happens and works.
My favorite thing about Groft was that he always interacted with everybody. Whenever he would say something, he would always make sure that everybody felt included. But yeah, that was the biggest thing. He always took the time to check in on me. Still does.
Besides the fact that he is an awesome person, as a fellow artist, I also appreciate his work.
Well, we have to, if you're going to talk about Graphposting, you have to talk about Mark Groft, who has just had the biggest heart, and he'll literally like exude positivity to anyone's post, to anything, every comment. It's always in a positive, beautiful vibe, and I think it corralled a lot of amazing human beings, and his positivity and Mark's positivity just created this beautiful community that we have. And it's, I wouldn't even call it a community now, because this is family now. We are absolutely a family.
Again, the positivity, the vibes that brought me into the Graphposting universe is definitely something that's very rare. You get these kind of people together that all have the same outlook and the same positive, views, and it's just hard to beat that.
Mostly is pee-pee.
Mostly.
No.
Oh my gosh.
No, Graphposting is a whole thing. It's it's us, and a lot of his dick.
I love that we like viciously love each other. Like viciously love each other. Like watch out. One of my favorite things about Groft in general is his encouragement of all of our creativity, to constantly be producing something for ourselves, but not producing in the way that's expected of us. And if it makes us laugh and it tickles our funny bone, then that's all that it needs to be. It doesn't need to be consumable by all. And I think we all kind of jumped on that as well, and it's really enjoyable, supportive.
So I was invited into Graphposting from somebody else from another, from another Robier group. And I was just kind of brought there because she invited me there because she's like, I think you fit this vibe. And that vibe is just the wackiest, zaniest, most loving and accepting, perverted fuckers. Yeah, they're maybe some of the best friends that I've, it's just instant friends. It's unreal. It's just hilarious banter that, yeah, is amazing.
Oh man, that's my home and my homie. Mark, you're great. You're fucking awesome. And I'm so glad that you had your little edit side thing that was able to bring us all together. My new family, my chosen family.
Yo, I'm hopping all around, I'm a pink bird. I'm walking all around, better drink some Wawa.
This weekend has been pretty awesome. I almost didn't want to believe this was going to happen. It felt like getting too excited about it would be a letdown if something didn't happen with it, right? And as it got closer, when I felt myself like begin to believe, shit, this is going down, right? I was so excited, and it's been even better than I could have expected. And I love these people. I feel so fortunate for whatever randomness in life led me here.
This weekend really does represent a culmination of a year's worth of bonding, friendship, and, you know, weekly video calls and just life, experiencing each other's life and showing up for each other. And we are really one big family.
Like, there's only before this weekend in my life, and then there's after. Any sort of expectations that I had were completely blown out of the water with how just amazing, supportive, creating real connections with people, having us all together and laughing my ass off, doing whatever, however I'm thinking or feeling. I can just say what's on my mind and have people who get it and just love. Like, it's unreal how much love there is in this little 14 acres.
Love. And I have never felt so loved in my life until like this weekend. Like, I've never felt this kind of love before, and it's amazing. It's just like it's just like no judgment, no nothing. We can just have so much fun.
It's beautiful when people that are like-minded, that have love, genuine love for the music, for each other, and you put them all together in this microcosm of humanity. It felt like the real world, but we are so much more when we leave here than we were before we got here. And there's nothing but love amongst every person here. And I have felt nothing but love.
It's a fantastic experience, and I couldn't trade it for anything else. I mean, this is definitely something that I'll always cherish.
Connection, creation, freedom, reconciliation.
I feel like it's a manifestation of this celebration that we've been sharing through these COVID times and recognizing ourselves and each other and coming together, and it just feels so natural, and we've known each other our whole lives.
This has been beyond my wildest imagination, being with you guys. Yeah, I knew it would be great, but I didn't know. Like, the energy, the comfortable level, like, we're just, I'm in love. I'm in love with all you guys.
Cracking the voice. Gosh. Family. I found my tribe. My grandmother, when I had to explain what the internet was to her, I said, it's just this information out there. It exists, and somehow we can gather it. So it hit me. I'm like, wow, she would probably be like, you're going to go meet your internet friends? Are you, But I think she would understand it by now that after what we came through with quarantine and being with each other through it, even so far away, this was finally the package that's like, yes, I could see you, I could touch you, I could smell you, and all that good stuff. And we get to just laugh and have a good time. And like I said, unity in the community.
It was an amazing experience that changed my life forever, for the best. Knowing that you have friends who will never judge you for anything is freaking fantastic. And I love these people. They're my family now.
I have never, this is the most important thing I have done for myself in my entire life.
Oh, this week has been everything. That's my answer. This whole week has been everything.
Exercise your mind. Exercise your mind. Exercise your mind. Exercise your mind. Gotta go ahead. Exercise your mind. If you cannot get it out, exercise your mind. Exercise your mind. What up, Groft? Little Groft thing? It's
perhaps the deepest, most intense child of a fan group on the internet.
Exercise your mind. Exercise your mind.
And if there's no one around,
Exercise your mind.
if there's no one to talk to,
Exercise your mind.
if you're all alone,
Exercise your mind.
if you need a little help,
Exercise your mind.
so shut up.
So, folks, I'm here with Mark Groft. You might know him as Grofty. You might know him as Edit Poppy. What are some other nicknames you have?
I lose count now. I just go with the flow.
So the primary focus of today's interview, and Mark, I think I want to bring you back and have like a full-on conversation sometime too. But the focus of today's conversation is going to be on the following that you've managed to build through your demeanor and through your art and through whatever it is. There's a lot of information. How do you describe yourself? What are you, an artist? What are you?
I guess a graphic design artist / shit poster / photographer / I don't know, a lot of things.
You're a musician too, right? You play in a band? Yeah,
I've played in a band for over like 13 to 15 years, but this band I'm in now, I've been in for like 10 years now. So
you play bass? Yeah,
I play bass. I actually originally started out playing guitar in this, but I moved to New York a while back, and I would try to make it work for a while, but it was too much of a haul to drive back and forth, and I was missing many practices, and I was just like, guys, I don't want to, keep you going. So I had to drop out for a year, and then the bass player left and stuff. So I came back and I was like, it wouldn't make sense for me to come back and it just be two guitarists because they didn't, have a bass player at the time. So it's just like, I'd originally played, bass like a long time ago. So it was just like, I'll just pick it back up and,
Do you like the bass better than the guitar at the end of the day?
Yeah. At first it was a little weird because, it's kind of like, it takes a little to get used to, especially when you're playing with bigger strings.
Yeah.
And, it's just a whole different vibe. You're kind of a little bit more in the background because you're not like, the guitarist. Like people always come up and be like, oh, dude, guitarist or whatever. Like I'll seldomly have anyone come up and be like, I'll do your bass. Oh my God, like.
Yeah, right. But it's such an important position in the band though, because it's such a it's a kind of percussive and rhythmic too, right? So.
But yeah, I've found my love for it again, and it's actually I enjoy it more now than playing guitar, which is really strange. It's a lot of fun.
That's one of the things I like about Mark Rebier, about Loop Daddy most, is the bass lines that he comes up with that seem pretty dope on his keyboard, don't you think?
I love his bass lines. You would think that he was, if he had a bass, he'd probably be like slapping it and be like going hard.
Definitely.
What a medical journey. What a medical journey. What a medical journey.
So I came across Mark Groft with a K. I came across you through Loop Daddy, through the page. You were posting some funny Photoshop edits. The background on me is I always liked music. I never really played. Loop Daddy got me to learn how to play. I actually bought the M Audio that he was using at the time to learn. And through quarantine, I learned, and he inspired me to do that. And then when I was kind of starting to get in a rut there, you know how it goes with music. Like when you're learning, you get into spots where you just don't feel like you're improving, and it's like the same old thing.
Yeah.
And that's about when you inspired me through some of your edits to get into some Photoshop and some more artistic stuff. So I owe you a big thank you for inspiring me to do that. And not only did you inspire me to do it, but my first post, you commented on it and messaged me about it. And that I know that seems like a little thing to some people, but that's a big, that validation really helped me keep going.
It's huge, man. I mean, just having, even having people comment on your stuff and just be like, hey, it makes it worth it. I mean, as silly as it is, it's like, you're like, oh, you're just doing it for likes, but it's like I'm just doing it to, you know, entertain people and just bring happiness, and you know, I have fun with it, so why not, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So we have some similarities, but I've never been thrown in Facebook jail. You seem to be kind of a regular, kind of a recurring, what do they call that? A repeat offender, if you will. What's going on there? So explain to me why is Grofty, the leader of Graphposting, why is he constantly going in and out of jail?
I mean, I guess I like the memes I pick. Like I try to test the boundaries a little bit with the algorithms, because I'm trying to really figure out what it is that Facebook blocks and what they allow, because, you know, their censorship is just ridiculous all in itself. And I'm sure a lot of people can agree on that. But yeah, just testing the boundaries just to see what I can get away with and what's allowed, you know. It's kind of fun, you know, fun.
Do you feel like I feel like you're on the radar now too, right? So like I might be able to get away with a lot more stuff than you would, just because I'm not on the list. Although this interview now is probably going to put me on the list. So I'm happy. I'll take it. Guilty by association. I'm happy.
It's normally instant. Like I'll post something, and if it gets nabbed, it's like within the first 5 to 10 minutes. It's like instant. I'm like, oh no, it hurts my heart. It hurts.
Is there a farm of humans doing that in addition to some AI, or how are they actually censoring it?
I mean, every time I get banned, like just this past time, you know, I don't know if you saw the strawberry, which I'm sure you think is still up somehow, but there's like a bunch of strawberries, and I forget the exact wording of it or whatever, but basically there's a penis head in the mix of the strawberries. And it was really, the one I got was real, because somebody just sent it to me like, hey, you know, like, see if you can, like, you know, blend this a little bit and get it to pass, because he's like, I know it's going to get banned. I was like, so I really blended that, you know, penis head to look like a strawberry, which, I mean, come on, it was really hard to
I didn't even see it. Look, I grew up, I'm 37. I turned 37 today. So I grew up in an era, which I imagine is still the era. I don't know how kids are like these days, but we were drawing dicks on everything we could. You know, I've been, when I look at like a natural land formation, I often think like, okay, what kind of genitalia does that look like? You know, I can't shake it. So in spite of that, I didn't even see the strawberry. So that had to have been an AI move, I feel like.
Yeah, I think they have like something set up for memes, you know, like I really think they have a database for memes. And I think like somehow I blended it so well that, because I put it up review, I put all my stuff up for review, because I'm like, no, this is ridiculous, you know, like, and most of the time I always get nabbed anyway. Obviously I'm still, you know, I get banned, but this time it was funny because, you know, I won my, you know, review, and that's why it was still up, but they still gave me the 30 days. And I was like, you let me win, but then you still ban me. And I'm like, you know, but it's like a little badge on it, and it's still up, and, you know, hanging out there in the interweb somewhere on Facebook that they can't remove it.
Oh yeah, dude. So although you were in jail last weekend, you had a huge weekend. And the reason for that is people found you through Loop Daddy, I assume, mostly. And you started your own little community. People started following you. It's become a very inclusive, at least to what I can see. I'm sure there's some dysfunction within the Groft fam, just like there is with any family. But from what I can tell, it's a very loving place. It really is a carryover from from what Mark Rebier is kind of putting out there. So it's a good kind of union of people. The same kind of people that like him are probably going to like you for the most part. And I just think it's cool to see. We're so often hearing about negativity with internet, especially last year. Like things got so divisive and so aggressive online, and yet there are still these havens, Loop Daddy being one, Graphposting being one, where you can find people that are going to uplift you and support you and not try to make everything a fight. So big ups to you for providing that. Last week, after about a year, how long has Graphposting been in existence?
Yeah, just this past July was a year.
Okay, so not even a year and a half later, and 25 of these Grofties, we'll call them, who only met online, to my knowledge, took it upon themselves to rent a house in Asheville. 25 Grofties assembled to go see Mark Rebier play in Asheville. And that's an opportunity in a horror movie that sounds like a mass murder waiting to happen, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but it sounds like that wasn't the case. I've got a bunch of interviews. We'll be lacing those throughout this episode. And I imagine, I was moved by what they were saying. I was like tearing up, and it wasn't even about me. So I imagine when you're watching it, it's going to be really, you're going to really feel the love, you know? But not only did they all assemble through you, but you also got called out by effing Loop Daddy himself.
What a Groft, little Groft fan. It's perhaps the deepest, most intense child of a fan group on the internet that exists with me that I know of. But it's really not dedicated to me, it's dedicated to the wonderful Mark Groft.
Effing Loop Daddy himself. He called you guys the deepest, most intense Facebook community there is. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Oh yeah, for sure. I can 1,000% agree with that.
Yeah, that had to feel kind of dope to get recognized like that too, right?
Yeah, it's really cool. And I mean, like when he had said about like the group's not even really about him. I mean, it really isn't about him. I mean, granted, we all post stuff about him, you know, randomly and stuff, but I mean, it's just really about a group of people that just really care about each other. And, you know, I'm sure you've seen some things that have happened with like people coming together and helping other people in need within the group and stuff like that. But it's just a really, really close knit group. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities. We get requests every day to join, and we decline the ones that we feel are just like, and then some. Most of it just people don't answer all the questions, so we're like, okay, well,
that's like an immediate filter right there. Is like if you're not willing to answer the questions, how are you going to support the group?
Yeah, but we're just trying to keep it small because there's like Mark's in the group, and there's some of his personal friends are in the group too, so it's kind of like a little bit more intimate, which is a really crazy group.
I feel like at the end of the day, the way to keep Facebook from becoming toxic is by moderating appropriately, and kind of you have to be an active moderator, and part of that is keeping it private enough to where you can control the scale of it, so you know who he's getting into and all that. So I appreciate that too.
Thank you.
So what's your kind of mission with that? I mean, did you have a mission when you started that thing? Did you think there's no way you could have really predicted that it would become this loving and family based? But
yeah, I mean, originally, like I was just doing posts throughout Loop Posty, and then they just started really blowing up.
I went to hormone therapy and now I got my dick up. I'm walking all around downtown. Erect penis, baby. I walk over here. I walk over there. I walk into the bodega. I don't care because I'm hard and my penis is ready, baby. I'm ready to fuck.
Sir, please put your penis away. Jesus Christ.
Excuse you, ma'am. Okay, I just got hormone therapy and I am fucking feeling it.
Oh, you did? You just got hormone therapy?
Yes, I did.
That's so funny because I just did too. And I'm dripping wet, baby. I'm dripping wet, baby. I'm dripping wet, goddamn dripping wet, baby. I said I'm walking all around. Yo, I need a little bucket to put under my vagina so it catches all the wetness.
Kevin, he had taken the opportunity because he's seen people really reacting to my stuff, and he was like, well, there needs to be a group, just for your stuff, so he created a group, and like I was really taken back by that, the fact that he even created the group, and
of course
taking that time, and then I saw people were joining, I'm like, this is crazy, like people are really joining this group about just some stuff that I'm doing, just like just to be funny. It's amazing, man. It's really amazing.
Well, dude, it's super inspirational, and it's like a lot of the comments that people made in the interviews from the, we call it Assville, right? I think a lot of the comments were just about how you're very receptive to people when they even if it's kind of a bad meme or not even bad, but like a less than super skilled edit or something, you're always there to kind of support people. I was really impressed. There used to be thirst posting that would happen, right? So on Thursdays, someone would post kind of a selfie that's kind of sexual, but not like explicit or anything. But that one week that kind of became almost like it's kind of an aggressive, specific, like, hey, hit me up kind of thing. I don't even know the name. It doesn't matter. But I was really impressed that you stepped in there and kind of like cut it off and said, in order to keep this safe, we have to modify our behavior here. So good on you for that,
I mean, it's just, in the end, it was just causing like some issues that I was just like, this isn't, what we're about, It started off something fun and kind of led to like something that really blew up and got crazy. So had to tame it down a little bit,
Yeah, of course. Well, so now that we got that out of the way, let me ask you some pretty personal questions here. I just last minute put up a thing in Facebook in Graphposting to get some questions. I hope you haven't seen these yet. Okay. If there's children listening or watching, get out of the room, or unless you're just into dicks and stuff, stay in the room. That's cool too. Okay. First question. This is from Hazel / Bestie. Yeah. Okay. How many peens have you been Facebook jailed for?
Oh God.
Is it always the peen that does it?
Yeah, I think peens are what do it, because like I've literally flat out posted eggs with titties and nipples in them and croissants with titties in them, and they've never gotten nabbed, and it always seems to be the penis that gets the ban, man.
Just another example of men just not getting a fair shake in this world, This is from Clint. It's a three-part question. Length, girth, spread those cheeks?
I don't really know how to answer that. I'm going to say for the first two, I'm a normal size peen that I have. I'm not, extra girthy. So I'm completely okay with my normal size penis. That's completely fine.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, always spread the cheeks. You always got to spread them.
Those are the exact answers I hope to get.
Look at that ass. I wanna see that ass. Turn around. I wanna get a look at that ass, girl. See your butthole.
I always, when people people would say shit like, oh, that guy's got a little dick, that always was hilarious to me, because it's like, they weren't saying that about you, by the way, but it's like, it's a fucking body part, how ridiculous would it be to make fun of someone's like pointer finger? Like, look at that little pointer finger. It'd be mean, come on.
It's like, it's just the most silly stuff. So that's why I always say, I'm just like, yeah, I got a small penis. Like, I'm just like, whatever about it. Cause I'm not gonna, I always see people like, yeah, I got the biggest penis ever. It's huge, man.
Under promise, over deliver. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, definitely. Always got to underwhelm them, man.
That's right.
Leave them curious.
That's right. Okay. How about, this is from Hannah too. What do you envision Graphposting could be in another year from now? So it's gone from 0 to 600, and I looked it up recently, 632 members. It's resulted in a real life meetup where people of all walks of life got together and coexisted in like a Big Brother / real world kind of environment without drama. Yeah. So what's next, do you think?
I mean, there's always been talk in the group about a Groft Fest, and like people really doing up. And I honestly think that I feel within the next year or two that could be a real reality, because there's not even just me, there's so many talented people in this group. And that was the whole thing I said from the start with when I seen this, that don't make this group about me, make it about you guys. You guys have hobbies, like things you're interested in, just share it with us, just share your life. That's what this whole thing is. It's just inside, some of it's a lot of memeing and stupid shit to make us laugh, but it's just, a lot of it's just, sharing each other's lives and just like seeing that. So I really think that that's a big possibility that
hell yeah,
the meetups are going to get bigger. And I mean, eventually the group will probably grow a little bit more, but we'll keep a hard, monitor on it. Just make sure that the people that are coming are the right, fit for, because that's what we want. We just want all like-minded people, that don't cause a stir. We call it whatever it is, but it's just more peaceful and more, everyone just has a good time and agrees, and we don't have a lot of like big, like people just being stupidly mean and saying stupid stuff for no reason, to everybody.
Yeah, dude, I'm constantly amazed at even my little podcast that the random just trolls that like find a need to take time out of their day to like belittle whatever I'm doing when there's no negativity in the message. It's like, what are you doing? It's so clear reflecting on them that like, you're the problem, dude. Like, why, if you hate it so much, why would you spend any time on it? Move on.
I know. And I see your like grind, man. And it's like in a lot of ways, it reminds me of what Mark, does. Like, and that's how I really was attracted to, what he's all about. Cause it's like his personality, and he's all about love and care, but he's also like got a drive to him that I think people really see, and that's just inspiring in itself, that, to see him like really bust his ass out there and see like him like really like
Yeah.
grab what is his. And it's like, I see you, like, you're doing the same stuff. And yeah, it's slow to start out, man, but I guarantee your grind is going to pay off eventually. And, haters is great. They get your name out even more.
That's right. So, hey, if any of you don't like what you're listening to, make sure you comment on that. Let's bring the hate, baby. Bring it.
Yeah. Bring the hate.
Yeah. I mean, I'm inspired by him constantly, just by, it's still crazy to me. I feel like when I first started watching him, which would have been 2019 or something, and I only started watching him selfishly because someone told me they reminded me of him or something, and I was like, well, that sounds pretty cool then, just selfishly, And then I started watching him, and I was already thinking he was so huge in 2019, but now I see where he's come now, and I look back on those, I'm like, man, he was still playing shows in some cases where people were just there to eat and shit, and not even almost annoyed that he was playing, not there for him, and that's like, that blew up fast. I don't envision that's going to happen to me because I don't have perfect pitch and all that, but like I still feel like I can carve out a niche. You've carved out a niche.
Yeah, I mean, that's all about life. Is just find your niche in life, what makes you happy. For some people that doesn't make them happy, and they don't understand that makes you happy. It's like, why is something like, I see people every day doing like silly videos, like a frozen balloon, and they break it and they squirt something into it, but like visually it's really amazing. And for some people, they can't understand that someone's doing something silly like that. But that makes them happy. So why does it matter? Why does it bother you to see someone doing what makes them happy and getting some success from it? I think that's the big thing. It's just people can't handle seeing someone be successful, and
right.
It's like, why?
I've gone through a long phase. Like I said, I'm 37, and I didn't really start getting back in touch with my creative side, even though that was clearly, looking back, I clearly wanted to be a creative. But I succeeded in school and went into engineering because the family did that. And like, before you know it, I was miserable, dude. I was miserable. I'm like, I don't have the financial stability I had back when I was working for the man, but I would trade this all day for that. It's just like, that's just a maturation. That's a maturation thing. I kind of felt like I was going through some big epiphany that no one's ever experienced, but ultimately we all go through phases where we just kind of realize what I'm saying, some shit now that my parents have been telling me, you know what I mean? It's just like cliche stuff that just, when it applies to you, it doesn't feel cliche anymore, And
it hits you in that moment. And you're like, wow. I think honestly, a lot of us are really struggling. Like, I mean, let's be honest, most of, America is probably just getting by. Like I live paycheck to paycheck, and like the little extra money that I get here and there, like I try to do what I can do with it. But I mean, really, it's just little things that help out, keep you going, So I think a lot of people can relate in that aspect of being poor, like,
dude, 100%. Even and a lot of the people that aren't poor are actually really poor. A lot of the flashiness is actually leveraged in debt and credit cards and all this other stuff. And like,
exactly. And I don't want to live that life. I don't care about looking, I don't care about having the nicest car, having that whole look. Like I just want to be happy, and just be comfortable and
hell yeah,
live a peaceful life.
Well,
That's all I care about.
And not only are you doing that, but man, you've fostered this community that's following in your footsteps, and they love you. They have a true love for you, like an actual father or brother or whatever, dysfunctional son or whatever they want to think of you as. I'm sure it varies by person, but I just wanted to make it clear to you, like, how much you're appreciated. Keep doing what you're doing. If you could kind of distill it all down to a couple talking points, what is your favorite thing about the community that you've built?
I think the biggest thing is just like seeing people actually make a difference through little deeds of I know I don't like bringing up like crazy personal stuff, but there's we had issues where people are having an issue in life where they were going through a toxic situation and they needed help, and the whole group literally came together and just put some money together to get them on the right foot, but I think that's really cool. And a big thing for me was when we all came together and got Mark his robe, his Versace robe that he rocks every now and then, which is that was a big moment for our group because everybody came together.
Yeah.
We had a goal. It was stressful for me because I was like, I hope this robe gets here because this is, and it wasn't it wasn't all my money. So I had that oh my God, if this doesn't go through, they're gonna lose it. They're gonna lose it. But thankfully it got there, and then him posting the video onto onto our group and stuff about it. It was just like, man, like that is just so cool.
Hello to you gorgeous, sexy, outstanding motherfuckers at Graphposting. I just got the video you guys sent me. Mark sent it over. And, you know, it's just really touching, man. It's really touching.
You know, and Grant, he's very supportive. He's always been supportive of me as like an artist, which is like huge because I struggle. I've been editing for many years before that, you know, and then to have a real artist like really like in a moment where he's blowing up and like just take my some of my stuff. I do a lot of stupid stuff, and I do a lot of like legit edits of Mark too, you know. So like for him to put some of that stuff, like take the funny with the, you know, the serious, and you know, like it's really inspiring in itself to me, and like that he even says anything about me or even cares, you know. It's pretty cool.
No, I think that's really cool too. I've had people kind of question my like love for Mark, like I'm obsessed with them or something. I'm like, I'm not obsessed by him. I'm inspired by him, and he's fucking cool, and I, like it's making me want to make shit. So why not like honor the thing that's inspiring you at the time? It's just an easy way to learn too. It's like,
I couldn't put it in. Like I'm sure people look at me like, dude, I mean, I've literally done thousands of edits of Mark, you know, like it's you know, I'm not even like lying. I've spent that.
You've gotten so much better at your craft as a result of those too, though.
Because I never used to do stuff like that. I never did like, you know, placing his, you know, faces on other characters and you know, doing like little like, you know, funny little like whatever you want to call them edits. But I mean, I started learning, you know, like things throughout the whole process, and it kind of made me a little bit better at doing certain things, and I grew a little bit from it. You know, obviously, like here recently, I've kind of started doing more of my regular edit kind of stuff lately, because I kind of started, you know, losing a little focus on that. But you know, it's worth it. You know, you gotta ride the train. That's all I'm doing, just riding the train.
Yeah, dude, especially when you go, if any creative's gone through a spell, for me it was 15 years, you know, but like everyone's gone through a spell where they're struggling to get inspired. So you like you said, you got to ride the train on whatever is going to move you that day. Just attack. Otherwise you'll be waiting your whole life till the mood's just right and everything's perfect. Well, that's never going to happen.
Exactly. And I mean, I think that's one of the things when Mark said about, you know, about creative integrity or whatever. Sometimes you just got to throw it out there. Like my thing is I'm the worst enemy sometimes with myself, because I take everything, you know, like I'm like, oh man, that looks stupid, I'm not going to post that. And it's like,
nobody even notices what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, sometimes you just need to do it.
Yeah, dude.
Throw something out there and just hope for the best.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? You get 20 likes instead of 180 or something? Who gives a shit?
And you get some people saying you're dumb. Okay, well, I already know I'm dumb, so what else you got for me?
Yeah, that can't hurt me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what's your message to not only to the Groft fam and the Loop Daddy fam, but just to the people listening and watching at large? What's your message?
I mean, just that I'm like so very much grateful for this whole experience, you know, and just like that, I can't thank everybody enough for their support, and not only that, but supporting each other in our hobbies. Like I see so many people just like that are like DJs in the group, or they do little musics, or you know, music projects, or you know, just like cooking, you know, culinary, anything, like little paintings and stuff. And it's just like to see other people really care about other people's crafts.
Yeah.
And, you know, just support each other. It's just like, I every day I'm blessed because of that. I mean, honestly, it's hard to be upset and sad. Granted, I do, you know, we all get in our moods, and, you know, it's impossible to not be sad, but it's impossible. It's almost nearly impossible to not feel grateful for that every day, and just be like happy, you know, because of what we got as a group. It's just amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Edit Poppy, Grofty, Mark Groft, our fearless leader. Give that famous face, that scowl that you're known for. I love it. Okay. Thanks, dude. Thanks,
See you, bro. Thank you.
Say goodnight. I know it's time to say goodbye. Give me one more kiss, babe, before we let it die. listen, baby, one more time.